Yes, some of the players and also some kids, because we know how we love kid interviews, and they have the best insight. So we're going to try to get that.
That'll be fun. This is kind of for the players, maybe their last chance to kind of laugh and chuckle. They'll still laugh and chuckle, but tomorrow gets real, because tomorrow's it's practice. It's go.
It is here. It is here. Yeah. And, you know, another thing, too, I like that they did it. They scheduled it at the beginning of camp, and, you know, sometimes it might be in the middle, but to get it, not to say to get it over with, because I know that these players really appreciate being able to interact with the players, and also those new players that have come in. Every time I've talked to them, they've brought that up, even without me asking them about it, how much they've appreciated the fan support here as opposed to maybe some of the other places that they just came from. So I know they appreciate interacting with the fans, but it just was so much going on with practices and meetings and trying to install new offenses, and some of these players just even getting acclimated with each other. You know, to put that in the middle of a fall camp would be a little bit tough. So to get it in here, you can start it off, get going, and then tomorrow you attack camp.
Been a busy day for Scott Frost, Garrett Nelson, Travis Vokalek, and Quentin Newsom, and they are here. They were in Indianapolis to launch day one of Big Ten Media Days. They did a bunch of interviews there, got on a plane early this afternoon, zipped back to Lincoln, and they are a part of Fan Day tonight. I soaked up pretty much all 7 hours on BTN today, trying to learn as much as I could about all the teams in the league. And one of the comments I made to you last night, Jessica, was I was hoping there wasn't any huge news from Scott Frost today. And there really wasn't. I mean, a couple things here and there that were a little bit newsworthy, but nothing big like so-and-so's no longer here, or this guy's off the team, or this guy broke his toe and he's done. So I felt good there wasn't anything monstrous today.
Yeah, because sometimes that can be when some bombs are dropped. But yeah, I mean, he seemed also already serious, intense, ready to go.
Very sick.
Take care of business, and so kind of already a little bit mid-season for him, for Coach Frost. But you can just tell he's anticipating and excited to just get things rolling. And if there gets to a point, you go through spring ball, and just because you're going against each other all the time, and there's a lot of talking there, and then you do a lot of talking throughout the summer, and then let's just get on the field, see what we actually have in a football team, because there's a lot of pieces, as we've talked a lot about, that they didn't have in the spring. Guys hurt, guys not here yet. And so, you know, I know that this whole team is anxious to just get out onto the field and see how they can get it all put together. So far, everything has been going how you would hope it would, according to players and coaches, and hearing the leadership and the unity council, all of that. But again, that doesn't do anything for you unless you can put it together on the football field. So transferring that over from what they've done in the summer and getting it going. And as Travis Vokalek, now we've heard him say it multiple times with me on the golf course the other day, and then he said it multiple times today. It's 1-0 every single day, every single rep. Finishing is the big word. And so not looking too far ahead, not getting too caught up in all of that. But hey, they got to start 1-0 starting tomorrow in day one of camp.
Scott Frost would have been the only coach there today that's practices start tomorrow. So he's kind of into his camp phase. When he was at the big podium, I thought he was a little rigid. But when he actually sat down with the BTN guys, very good, very conversational. He was looser. It was better. And also, I think the podium, he'd already done a bunch of interviews before he went up to the podium. Because I had people going, why didn't he do an opening statement? Well, he'd already done a bunch of interviews.
Right.
Because Nebraska had to get out of there kind of when he was done. So he's like, a lot of these people have already heard me talk for 20, 30 minutes. So let's just get going. You got questions here.
And it looked like there were quite a bit of media at his table.
There were.
And also, did anybody tell him he needed to have? Are you supposed to have it?
He knows.
Okay.
He knows. But he had just finished a 40-minute session with mostly the local media had grilled him for about 40 minutes for that.
But I'm kind of with that. I mean, you can give an overall say to the program, but hey, just ask the questions what you want to know.
What do you want to know?
What do you want to know? I'll tell you.
What I may tell you, and what a lot of the coaches do tell you, most people are like, yeah, I know that. I know that.
Yeah.
He did say Casey Thompson will take the first snap with the ones when they start practice tomorrow. Surprised at all?
No, I'm not. And nothing against Chuba. Chuba just missed a lot of spring ball. So I think, the competition started in the spring, and Casey earned that and in the spring, and there's still some unknown with Chuba. He didn't get a chance to compete as much. It's not necessarily Casey's job, but Casey's going to start in the ones, and we'll see what Chuba can do. It's not, done deal. Casey is the absolute starting quarterback, but they'll have a competition. But right now, how they finished spring ball, Casey was ahead of Chuba. So right now, Casey's going to go in getting those one snaps.
He was quick to say, Coach Frost was, Casey gets the first snap of the ones, but he goes, I'm looking forward to the competition at that spot. So he's openly saying Chubba's got a shot at this deal, and we want to see how it plays out. And then when he was with the BTN talent, they said, when do you want to make the decision? He goes, whenever it becomes apparent who it is. He goes, if it's game week, that's fine. If it's after week one, that's fine too. Just whoever grabs a hold of it and we feel like, yeah, that's the guy, then we'll go with it.
I think that's the beauty of having multiple guys in that room you can be confident in, is you don't have to rush that. I mean, you can, you don't necessarily have to just go with one guy, and you can let that battle play out until it does settle itself and you do know for sure which guy, but also allowing for that competition to continue to push each other to get better, knowing that, hey, you better bring your A game every day or this guy could sneak up on you and take that spot, but also a chance to build the chemistry with the number 2 quarterback, whoever that might be, with anybody else, just in case he's called upon in a big situation. So to give him every kind of opportunity to be ready for any moment that he may be called upon in a season.
So we're going to play you here in a couple of minutes some of the clips from the coaches' press conference earlier today in Indianapolis. Hour number 2, we're going to play you some clips from the commissioner, who spoke for about I think it was 18, 19 minutes, and then he took a lot of questions and he covered a lot of topics. He said I'm 100% behind expanding the playoffs. He didn't throw a number out there whether he likes it to go to 8 to 12. There's even been late today floated 16 teams playoffs. I hope we don't go that crazy. And he also said, yeah, we're still open to expansion, which means to me the door is still open for Notre Dame.
Yes, I don't think anybody would close the door on Notre Dame. I mean, as he said, he likes where the conference is at, but if you can have a chance to haul in a program like Notre Dame, you take that opportunity. You take that opportunity, yeah. Yeah,
he basically said we're only looking to add value now to our league, and the two. He got asked a lot about the 2 Southern California schools. He said certainly they do. They add a lot of value because of the LA market.
Yeah, now you have the first, second, and third TV markets in the nation, and I broke this down when you were gone on vacation, but there were so many articles that came out about these programs and what kind of value they add, and you don't want to add a program that doesn't bring up that value.
Right.
Whether that's in terms of your viewership, your market, all of that kind of stuff. And so right now there's not a lot of programs that are going to add to the value of the Big Ten. The 2 that they just brought in absolutely do, but outside of that, you want to be strategic about which teams you bring in, because there is that, because that's what it's around. It's around that media rights deal and that TV deal. And if you're bringing in teams that bring down the value, then you're talking about taking away money from programs as opposed to giving them more money, which I know it's money, money, money. How can you not have enough of it? But as we've seen with NIL and maybe potentially where college football is going, and we've heard Trev Alberts talk about that, it's important to have that kind of revenue flowing in, because you never know how quickly college football and college sports can change, and when you need that kind of revenue coming in.
He did mention, you mentioned the TV deal. He said we're close. He said he anticipates that being announced before the start of the season, and he said he's very happy with the direction of where that is going, because he thanked BTN, he thanked Fox, and he goes, and our soon-to-be named new TV partners. So I think they're really, really close to this deal.
Yeah, and
I think a streaming service is going to be a part of it.
Yes, and not surprised at all that there is multiple partners involved. We knew that. We said that from the start, especially with the addition of USC and UCLA, that everybody's going to want a chunk of this, and the ratings speak for themselves from the Big Ten teams and the people that tune in to watch Big Ten football games week in and week out. That goes into what they can sell commercial ads and all of that, which brings in the money for the networks. So absolutely, there's not surprising at all that all these different entities want in, and there's going to be multiple partners involved in this deal.
He did talk about, and I don't know how I haven't thought of this, but he talked about how we can start the day with big noon kickoff, and now having schools in the Pacific time zone, we can have a game going all the way up or even past midnight, the Central 1 a.m. And he said we can kind of have Big Ten football
all day long. All day. Yep.
Crazy. One last thing on him, and again, we're going to play more clips from him coming up in hour 2. He did say he would like for the federal government to get involved and provide some guardrails for name, image, likeness, because he's right. A lot of states have different rules in place. Nebraska has a different rule in place than maybe Iowa does. He'd like some uniformity to all that so that everybody's playing by the same rules.
I'm glad he stood up and said that. We need to have that. The federal government needs to step in. It needs to even the playing field. I also thought, did you feel like he was more assertive, more confident today than he was a year ago?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he probably got too much blame a year ago. He's probably getting too much credit now, because I don't know how much. Pretty easy to answer the phone and go, oh, USC, yeah, we'll talk to you. So I don't know that he had to go pursue those two.
Oh, absolutely.
But he was way more confident.
Yes,
today.
I thought he was, just the way he delivered all of his answers, and I thought he was kind of almost a different person than what we saw on the podium a year ago. But yeah, I mean, USC, UCLA, absolutely. They were not happy with their setup with the Pac-12. They have made that known. They wanted to make sure that they were positioned. So yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, you're right. Probably not. Didn't take too much convincing for USC and UCLA.
You want to come? Yeah. Let me call my chancellors and talk to them.
But still, to make it all happen and to ensure that it was a done deal and make sure that the TV partners, because like we said, probably was almost a done deal, but
Correct.
Then to step back away from it and say, oh, well, wait a second on this deal. We can maybe see what else we can get out of it with this new TV market, with these two new programs that we're bringing in.
Glad you brought that up, because I've been pretty hard on Kevin Warren, and I think rightfully so in some spots, but he looked like a different guy today.
Yes.
Much more confident.
I thought that immediately. I was going to ask you about that, because I haven't watched every single address that he's given, but I thought from last year to this year, he was way more confident, way more assertive, just, was commanding the room up there and was not shying away from anything that anybody threw at him,
Right.
and was appreciative, was thanking everybody for the questions, and was happy to answer and talk about. But also, it's easy to be confident when you have just positioned the Big Ten in the way that the Big Ten is now positioned moving forward.
He has something to really be proud of, and
Yes.
he should be. Yeah. All right, folks, what do you think? 402-413-2400. So maybe you have some thoughts or have some questions after hearing Coach Frost talk today. Certainly can get your thoughts either with a phone call or our text line open. Same number for that. That is our Sports Nightly hotline. Brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. We're back with some of your thoughts. We'll also play you some of the clips from the head coach who met with the media today in Indianapolis. We'll also, throughout the program, be hearing from some of the folks that are involved in enjoying Fan Day out on the stadium. All that's coming up.
Woodhouse at Lincoln offers more than just vehicles. Steeped in tradition, Lincoln customers are offered 100 years of car building excellence, insightful technologies, luxury interior amenities, and benefits of the state-of-the-art showrooms and service departments. Convenient pickup and delivery, and an online buying experience that can be done anywhere. The simplicity of purchasing and owning makes shopping the Metro's exclusive Lincoln dealer an easy choice. Explore how Woodhouse Lincoln can change your drive today at woodhouselincoln.com.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged sales event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged sales event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. Husker fans, your Nebraska women's basketball team home non-conference schedule has been released. The Huskers will host Kansas, Wyoming, Omaha, and more. The Nebraska women's basketball team finished the season with 24 wins, an NCAA tournament appearance, and are returning all 5 starters for the 2022-23 season. You do not want to miss out on cheering on this team in person at Pinnacle Bank Arena this year. Not a current season ticket holder? Join the waitlist today so you can participate in the seat selection process on August 17th and 18th. Make sure to join the waitlist by July 31st at huskers.com/request list.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul. Not to mention their injury list. Cox, we're sports 24/7. Learn more at cox.com/sports.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? Well, they're even longer term than your sister's piano recital at church that time you drank a whole big cup of soda right before you left home and insisted to your mom that you didn't have to use the bathroom. We're talking that long-term.
Hi, it's Nick Luxinger from Dakota Mac. Give me a call at 402-740-6445 to learn all about our competitive rates on 30-year fixed-rate loans.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Jessica's taken off to go out and see if she can round up some interviews at Fan Day. For those of you watching on our YouTube stream, let's pop up a picture. Some pretty good lines out there. In fact, the quarterback line goes from sideline to sideline for the quarterback, but there's a couple other ones. So if you're watching on our YouTube stream, we popped up a look at the field. There's a lot of folks out there. So interest high for this Husker football team, despite the rough patch we've been having going on the last couple of years. Earlier today, as we mentioned in the opening segment, the Huskers had their day in Indy. They were one of 7 schools that were there today, along with Iowa, Minnesota, Maryland was there, the defending champion, the Michigan Wolverines were there, Northwestern, who is Nebraska's opponent in Ireland, and also the Indiana Hoosiers made their presence known today. The other 7 schools will go tomorrow. Huskers requested of the Big Ten, because of Fan Day tonight and because practice starts tomorrow, they wanted to go first. And so Scott Frost was the first coach to take to the podium today. Went through a litany of topics when he was up there getting questioned at the podium today. We'll start out with what have his impressions been like of summer with this team as they had workouts to prepare for the upcoming season.
I think we got really good leadership, kind of highlighted by the 3 kids that came to Indy with me. As good of leaders as we've had on the football team. I think there's a toughness about him that not our whole team, but maybe pieces of it lacked last year. And I think there's a chip on a lot of shoulders. It's an interesting combination right now of guys that have been through some of the tough losses that we've been through, and some newcomers, both on the staff and in the locker room, that haven't been through that. One of the biggest challenges is making sure we take the collection of guys and turn it into one team.
Really impressed with the leadership. In another huddle area, he mentioned that he thought Garrett Nelson might be the best leader that he's been a part of in Husker football for the last 5 years. So pretty high praise for Garrett Nelson, who was there today. All right, another big question that the coach faced was, how does he feel about handing off the reins of the offense to Mark Whipple, kind of sharing that duty with the offensive coordinator, because it was kind of mentioned to him that you've completely stepped away, and coach didn't quite like the phrasing of that. Listen to this.
Yeah, stepping away is the wrong way to put it. I'm going to still have my hand in it. It's going to be a fun collaboration with somebody else that knows a lot of football. When I'm not around the offense, I'm going to be able to trust him to take care of it so I can do other things. And I'm looking forward to having a little more of that role, but still being involved a lot.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. I mean, yes, he's got an offensive coordinator, and yes, Mark Whipple's going to be calling the plays. But ultimately, when you're the head coach, you can have veto power, right? I mean, it's still, you're the guy in charge of this thing. And so Scott's going to have a headset on. He's going to hear what plays are called. He can sit there and go, Coach Whip, let's run the ball this series. Or Coach Whip, let's do this series. So while, yes, Mark Whipple's going to be calling the plays, Scott Frost didn't completely check out of this deal, nor do I really want him to. I mean, that's been his bailiwick as a coach, whether it be at Oregon or UCF or Nebraska. He's a really good play caller, so you still want him to be somewhat involved with that. But for the most part, yeah, Mark Whipple's going to be doing a good chunk of that, more so than Matt Lubick maybe did last year or Troy Walters did the first couple of years that Coach Frost was here in Lincoln. All right, special teams. We all know that was a huge bugaboo last year. Probably cost the Huskers 2 games, maybe 3 last season. You've hired Bill Bush to now run that unit. You do have a dedicated coach to handle special teams. And the coach was asked about that phase of the football game.
Yeah, it's been an emphasis for us, and we're looking forward to working on that some more. The kids know how important it is. Our specialists, I think, are going to improve and do better this year, and I think we got more depth and athletic ability to have guys that can cover. The guys know how important it is, and we're looking forward to working.
I just know, and we had Bill Bush as part of our position breakdown was that 2 weeks ago already? I think it was, or at least a full week ago. And they feel good about the kickers that they got. The Bleak Road from Furman and Buschini from Montana. And I think last year, when you lump special teams, you feel like maybe you didn't cover punts well. Well, that wasn't the case. Nebraska covered pretty well. It was errant punts or missed kicks, missed PATs. So I think they feel like they've greatly improved in that area. And also you want to greatly improve in the return game. Nebraska's return game, both in punt returns and kickoffs a year ago, was non-existent. They weren't able to hurt teams at all. But I think with adding Trey Palmer and Anthony Johnson, I think they've done that now. I think that they've added guys that can bring back kicks, particularly Trey Palmer, who was phenomenal at it at LSU last year. All right, continuing on. NIL was a big topic, not only with Coach Frost, but the commissioner dealt with it. We talked about it, Jessica and I did in the opening segment of the program. How has it affected Nebraska football, and how has it impacted recruiting for the Huskers? Here's the head coach.
Yeah, I think it changes our model a little bit. Nebraska is going to be one of the best places in the country for NIL. There's so much fan support. There's so much interest. There's so much passion around it. And a lot of businesses and people in Nebraska have really given our current players a ton of opportunities already. I expect that to even grow as we go forward. And the attraction of NIL has certainly helped us add some pieces to our team, and I think will going forward.
And there's no doubt. I think Nebraska, and this is a credit to even pre-Trev Alberts, because Nebraska was ready to ramp up last July 1st when this thing launched, the Bill Moose, at the end of the Bill Moose era. Nebraska was ready to roll, and I think they've added steam. I think Trev Alberts has organized it pretty well. So I think, in not just in football, I think it's certainly helped in volleyball and men's and women's basketball. It's going to be a help. So Nebraska, I think, feels good where they are as it relates to NIL and getting ready to cover all of that. All right, last thing from the coach. Because practice starts tomorrow with that Week 0 game in Ireland, what challenges is that to get a football team ready to play and then travel a long ways to play a game in another country? Here's the coach.
We're excited to go play in Ireland. There's some challenges that go along with that. We've been planning for it for a long time. We're going to try to handle it as well as we can. Our players understand it. It's not a bull trip. We didn't earn it. We're going over there to play a football game, and that's got to be the focus.
So there was some of the main things, takeaways from the coach when he had a session at the podium. They're up there about 10, 12 minutes at the podium. Those were some of the highlights of some of his comments there at Media Day today. Next hour, the commissioner spent more time at the podium, and we'll dive into some of the things that he talked about. The additions of USC, UCLA, playing and traveling from coast to coast, NIL, some of those things that he touched on. We'll get into that coming up in hour number 2. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig always. Call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. Also, the Huskers announced late this morning a couple of new ticket plans for the upcoming season. We've been telling you about the 3-game mini pack. Now there are 2 other ones. One's called OU plus 2 mini plan. You get 1 ticket and then 2 tickets to the other 2 September games with North Dakota and Georgia Southern for $270. So 1 OU ticket, 2 tickets to both the other 2 games in September. They also announced a plan of just getting the 4 Big Ten home games: Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. That's a $200 plan, so $50 per game to see the 4 conference games, which don't start until October. The 4 home conference games with Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Again, you can go visit Huskers.com/tickets. I'm told that the Oklahoma plan nearly sold out in about 2 hours. So if there's any left now, there's not very many left. So if you want to get a ticket to the Oklahoma game, you better jump on that one pretty fast. But pretty exciting to see those plans come out today. All right, your thoughts, 402-413-2400. I see a couple of texts have come in the last few minutes. We'll answer those. If you have a call, love to hear your thoughts. What'd you hear today from the coach, some of the players, from the commissioner, all that fair game. As Fan Day continues from Memorial Stadium here on a Tuesday night.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Pat, I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Go ahead.
Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Pottery.
No.
Let us help. Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Lottery. Through August 2nd, enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska Lottery Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket for a chance to be one of 6 winners of a trip to LA, a cruise, or a trip to Vegas.
Are you sure it's not Nebraska Pottery?
Pretty sure.
Scratch ticket top prize odds, 128,000.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal, It's a mindset shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
You can be in Memorial Stadium for the Oklahoma football game with the new limited availability OU Plus 2 ticket plan. For $270, you have a ticket to the Huskers versus Oklahoma game, 2 tickets to North Dakota, and 2 tickets to Georgia Southern. Also available is a Big Ten plan with a ticket to Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. 4 Big Ten games in Memorial Stadium for only $200. Purchase right now at huskers.com/tickets.
Woodhouse Mazda and Woodhouse Place Mazda are the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers, conveniently located in Bellevue or in Millard off 144th and Giles Road. You can shop, finance, and buy your next Mazda SUV or sedan your way. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you to your next vehicle, and our full service department is there for you when your vehicle needs maintenance. Visit us at woodhousemazda.com or woodhouseplacemazda.com to learn more.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
At Great Western Bank, they understand what commitment to community means. It's more than setting up shop. For Great Western Bank, commitment means growing together and serving their communities. With more than 50 locations in Nebraska, they are dedicated to making life great. Thank you, Lincoln, for allowing them to be a part of this great community. Great Western Bank, member FDIC.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe with you, Jessica Coody out on Fan Day, hoping to track down a couple players, get some thoughts, maybe hear from some of the folks that are outstanding in some of these lines, waiting to get autographs from some of their favorite players on this Husker team, probably trying to meet some of the new players on this Husker football team with those 15 transfers into the program. There's a lot of new faces out there on the field. And guys, let's pop up for the folks on the YouTube stream a little look at the couple little double screens, see all the folks that are out at Memorial Stadium. Really good crowd out there tonight. And boy, are they catching a break, because There's some cloud cover, and it's not overly hot. It's a really nice night to be out there getting some autographs. And, it's so fun to see all the smiles light up on the young fans' faces out there when they meet these Husker football players who they're going to be cheering on during the summer. So really cool stuff out there at Fan Day today. A couple of texts came in. Art in Los Angeles said, after hearing what Scott Frost said about the 3 athletes that went to the Big Ten Media Days, we now know who 3 of the captains are going to be. Go Big Red. Probably. I mean, I think, I think that's probably a pretty good bet. Those are 3 guys that have a captain kind of feel about them. I think, you're looking at, I would guess we'll hear some kind of announcement mid-camp, maybe from Scott Frost about what captains are going to be. That's probably a pretty good bet if you those 3 guys, and there's a reason they get picked to go because they have a sense of what the team's going to be like. They're leaders. They're already looked upon as leaders on the team. Islanders, with particularly Garrett Nelson, Islanders, and that's a slam dunk that Garrett Nelson's going to be a captain. And I would think both Quentin and Travis will be captains moving forward as well. Also on our text line, who do you think will be the starting safeties and corners? Well, Quentin's going to be one of the starting corners. The other one, I think, is going to be a real battle between Braxton Clark, who's been in the program for a while, and Tommy Hill, who's a transfer from Arizona State. I think those 2 guys will really battle in the practice sessions, which begin tomorrow, for that opposite corner spot. The safeties, I think the year begins with Miles Farmer as one of the starters. Marquez Buford, I think, is also a guy that's probably ticketed to be a starting safety, but you have a handful of players back there. Omar Brown, transfer from Northern Iowa. You have Deshaun Singleton, transfer from the junior college ranks, who signed with the Huskers in the winter. I think he's going to be in the mix for that spot. I think the safety positions are going to be really competitive for Travis Fisher. And Travis even made the comment that he feels like he's got enough depth where he can rotate safeties and not really drop off much with talent and ability. And that would be a huge get if you could play 2 safeties for 2 series and then slip 2 new ones in there for a 3rd series and then maybe go back to the starters, really keep guys fresh. So I think we had Coach Fisher on a week or so ago and on our position breakdowns. He was even, toward the end of the interview, he's like, man, we've rattled off a lot of guys' names, haven't we? And he goes, I like every single one of them. So should be really fun and competitive back there on that back end. But I think Farmer and Newsome probably have 2 of the 4 spots at least to start. But I will say this, I don't know that either one of them are so far ahead that they can't be caught by guys once camp opens and gets going. So we'll follow it certainly as we make our way through this. But, I think those are one of the most competitive positions on this team is going to be that defensive secondary for the Huskers. We have time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Keep the text coming, 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap up hour 1 next.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Get your Ford your way at Woodhouse Ford. Completely customize your next vehicle and ensure that you are getting exactly what you're looking for. From cargo space to tires and even safety features, you can easily design a vehicle that meets all your needs. Plus, we make the process stress-free with 3 convenient locations and the ability to view all our inventory in one place at WoodhouseFord.com. You shouldn't have to settle, so start building your next vehicle at Woodhouse Ford today.
Sports Sunday Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharpe in studio, Jessica Coody out, mixing with the fans and some of the players out at Fan Day. Let's get a little live look for you, for those of you on our YouTube stream. Oh, I got some kids out now throwing some footballs around. Oh, I love that. They're trying to kick field goals and do all that kind of stuff. Really good turnout out there tonight, and I think part of it's because it's not blistering hot. It's in the 80s, but cloud cover, and so really comfortable for the folks to be out there. Their time is ticking away, though, and it's over by 7:30, so we're almost an hour into the 90-minute session out at Fan Day. A couple of texts coming in. Do you think we'll be a 4-3 defense, and do you think Isaac Gifford can be a good nickel? Isaac will certainly be in the mix for that spot, I think, along with Omar Brown. Chris Kolarvik is also being utilized in some of that stuff right now. But we talked about this some last night when we had Mike Dawson on the program. Nebraska ran a lot of four-man fronts a year ago. If you go back and watch some of the games from last year, you will see that the Huskers were in some of those four-man fronts. So absolutely, I think they'll probably be, heck, it might even be more than 50-50 in a four-man front, particularly with the really good edge rushers that Nebraska has. You might even have 3 of those guys on the field in passing situations with Mathis and Garrett Nelson and Caleb Tanner, and you're still hearing the names Jamari Butler and Blaze Gunnarsson come up quite a bit. So absolutely, I think you'll see Nebraska play a lot of four-man front in the upcoming year. From Texas, great show. It's 112 here, but listening in all this football talk sure makes it feel like fall and just 95 degrees. So, yeah, there you go. Glad to be able to kind of cool you off with a little bit of football chatter tonight with Fan Day. First practice tomorrow. First practice report will be on Friday. We'll hear from Eric Chenander. He'll talk about, at that point, the first 3 practices will be in the books by Friday. So we're going to finish July with 3 of the preseason practices in the can. How about that? But when you play on the 27th of August, that's what happens. You start a lot earlier. So that's some pretty crazy stuff. Nebraska was one of 7 teams today in Indy for the Big Ten Media Days, day 1 of 2. One of the other teams there was Iowa. Kirk Ferentz, who is the longest tenured FBS head coach, said that he thinks college football is in a really precarious place. There's just a lot of vagueness, a lot of uncertainty. This is Ferentz. We really don't have a firm structure. We don't have a basic set of operating rules. I don't think anybody right now can really explain the NIL in detail. What you can, what you can't do. I know you can't entice recruits, but it sure seems like that's maybe going on a little bit. There's just a lack of overall clarity. He said, we need some intervention. And then my bigger concern is, who's going to do it? Where's it going to come from? Where's that leadership going to come from? We're all really busy. And then he went on to joke that maybe Barry Alvarez is available to do all of this. So there are people, and I think I would probably be in that camp, a little concerned about, where are we headed? with this college football thing. So, again, I think the next 12 to 18 months is going to be really interesting for this sport. Mentioned Jessica's out at Fan Day.
All right.
She joins us now with Oliver Martin.
Fan Day. How exciting is this time?
Anytime the players can get out and interact with the fans who support us throughout the year, it's a great day.
What is it like being in front of this fan base? I mean, they are so supportive and here all the time, and you got people, sometimes it's so hot out here, but for them to want to come and interact with you guys.
Like I said, just being with the fans who support us throughout the year, we want to be able to do this for them, and just be able to be there for any way, shape, or form.
What is the craziest thing you've signed? I mean, I know you haven't today, but in the past.
Off the top of my head, I don't know, nothing crazy. Just pictures, footballs, jerseys.
All right, well, how are you guys feeling now that camp's finally here? I know it's a long grind to get to this point, but that you got day one coming up tomorrow.
A little bit anxious. We've been working all summer, all spring for this moment. Anxious to get it rolling and, progress even further towards the season and towards accomplishing our goals.
I know you guys did a lot of implementing the offense back in the spring, but what did you guys do in the summer to make sure you're ready to go come day one?
Receivers specifically, we did a lot of routes with the quarterbacks, working on our timing, working on the finer details of our route running, just kind of queuing all that stuff up.
You can sign while you're talking too. Okay. And what needs to happen? I mean, I know you guys have talked about approaching week one, day one, and winning each week. What needs to happen tomorrow to set the tone?
Just come out with the right attitude, do everything with high effort, and then execute the plays and carry that throughout camp. I think that'll be a good starting point.
And how do you feel about where this team is at compared to the teams of the past going into this fall camp?
This offseason in particular, I feel like we did more work than previous years from my experience in college. So, I think our timing's better. I think our cohesiveness is a little bit better. I just feel really confident about where we're at right now.
All right, get to signing autographs.
Thank you.
There's Jessica Coody with Oliver Martin in that wide receiver line signing some autographs. Let's take one more look at the folks in Fan Day for everybody on our YouTube channel. Just a really good turnout out there tonight, getting autographs from their favorite Huskers or some of the new Huskers. I think that's a lot of the intrigue is, what about Casey Thompson? What about Chubba Purdy? What about Trey Palmer? How about some of these young guys? Getting a chance to see them get their autograph and meet some of these new Huskers. Time is ticking away, though. It only goes till 7:30, so just a little over a half hour left in that. All right, coming up next hour, we're going to hear from the commish. He had a kind of a State of the Union of the Big Ten today, and then took questions from the reporters that were gathered in Indianapolis. We'll play some of the highlights of that for you coming up next hour. And Jessica will stay out there on the field and gather a couple more interviews with some of the Huskers and maybe some of the fans we'll talk to next hour as well. Good. Keep those texts coming, 402-413-2400. Also, the phone line's open and work as well if you want to dot us up and talk some Husker football. After hearing the coach talk quite a bit today, first time really Scott Frost has met with media members since the end of the spring game. He did our show one night after the spring game, and that might have been it until today. So it's been a long time since we've heard the thoughts from the head coach on a variety of topics. So I hope you enjoyed hearing some of those earlier in the hour. 1 hour down, another to go here on Sports Honey on a Fan Day on a Tuesday night. Come on back, have some fun.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
The Mazda lineup of SUVs will provide safety, performance, and capability on your journey ahead. From the 3-row Mazda CX-9 to the first-ever Mazda CX-50, our sales team is ready to guide you to the SUV for your lifestyle. Shop the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers at Woodhouse Mazda in Bellevue or Woodhouse Place Mazda. Visit us online for your next Mazda SUV at woodhousemazda.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row Townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
Save with low price lockdown from Hy-Vee. We've locked down prices on hundreds of your favorite everyday items. Prices are locked down for months and months on major leading name brands. The products that you like, the products that you want, and products that you'll want to stock up on. And all of the prices are locked down until we unlock them and lower them even more. Low price lockdown. Deals you can't beat anywhere. Only at Hy-Vee.
And welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. In Huskers news today, we talked about it in Hour 1. Today is Nebraska Football Fan Day here at Memorial Stadium. We'll be providing you some coverage and some clips like we did in the first hour in our second hour tonight. Today was also Big Ten Football Media Day as Scott Frost was on the scene in Indianapolis. There he talked about the importance of Casey Thompson, along with all the newcomers in the offseason, aiding in building this year's Huskers team. Take a listen.
Casey's one of many transfers we brought in. Really excited about the talent we added to the football team. But talent doesn't win games. We got to become a football team, and part of that's integrating the new players with the old and making sure we're one team playing together. Excited for that first game. Excited to compete in the Big Ten West. We were in every game last year with chances to win. Looking forward to having a team that's hungry to make sure that we win some of those.
Huskers football also received recognition on another preseason award watch list today. New transfer O'Shawn Mathis was named to the Bronco Nagurski watch list, the award given to the nation's Defensive Player of the Year. Huskers men's basketball announced today that they will play Oklahoma on Thanksgiving at the ESPN Events Invitational. Tip-off will be at 4 p.m. Central. It will mark the first time the Huskers and the Sooners have met on the hardwood since 2011. And good luck to Nebraska men's gymnast Taylor Christopoulos and Sam Phillips, who will each compete in the inaugural U.S. Men's Classic in Salt Lake Valley, Utah, this Sunday, July 31st. Over to pro sports and Major League Baseball tonight. It's a wild one. Lots of games going on right now. Maybe a World Series preview in New York. The Mets hosting the Yankees. All the runs being scored in the first so far. It's 4-2 Mets. In the top of the third, Yankees do have 2 runners on in that one. Marlins lead the Reds 2-0 in the bottom of the fifth. 2-0. Braves lead the Phillies in the top of the fourth. Also in the top of the fourth, the Rays are up 3-1 against the Orioles. Blue Jays lead the Cardinals 3-1 in the top of the third. 2-0. The Guardians hold the advantage over the Red Sox in the top of the third. 3-0. The Padres currently have a commanding lead on the Tigers midway through the third. In a few minutes, we'll see several games get started. The Angels and Royals. The Twins are in Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. At 7:40, the White Sox will battle the Rockies. 8:40, it'll be the Astros out west taking on the A's. Also at 8:40, the Giants are in Arizona taking on the Diamondbacks. And at 9:10, 2 games. It'll be the Rangers taking on the Mariners and the Nationals battling the Dodgers. One earlier final from today, the Cubs beat the Pirates 4-2. In the NFL, a couple of headlines today. Joe Burrow will have an appendectomy surgery to get his appendix removed. That is all expected to be quick and a fast recovery for the young starting quarterback for the Bengals. And in what comes full circle news, Julio Jones is reporting to the Buccaneers training camp today as the 7-time Pro Bowler signed a 1-year deal with Tampa Bay this afternoon. Jones will look to secure his first Super Bowl ring with the quarterback who denied him in his first attempt, that of course being Tom Brady, who led the Patriots in a 28-3 comeback in Super Bowl 51 over Jones and the Falcons. Good luck to Julio. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
In motion is Brewington. They snap it back, fake the handoff, looking to throw. They flip it out the flat to Brewington, makes a catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Well, that looked easy that time. Brewington came in motion, and instead of cutting down the block, kept out the flat, flipped it out to him for an easy 6 points. And Treese now sends a man in motion. They turn, they flip it off to McDuffie, trying to race to the edge. Gets around JoJo Doma, but can't get around Nick Henrich. He'll go down. He'll lose 3 yards, back to the 23-yard line. What a play by Nebraska. It's caught. Touchdown. Omar Manning. What a grab in the end zone, and the Huskers have 6 more points.
What a throw and catch. Yes.
Nice jitterbug move, and it bouncing the outside 40 to the 50-yard line to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant with an electrifying move at the line of scrimmage, scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back for hour number 2 inside of our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody, back from down on the field, the Fan Day. We got about 30 minutes left. Let's pop the pictures up again for the folks who are watching us on our YouTube stream. Really good turnout tonight. Caught a break with the weather. The cloud covers really kept the temperature down. It's a very comfortable night. Love seeing the kids run around and kick a football around down on the fields. That's really, really fun stuff out there. And I know the team really gets a kick out of that as well. How fun was that down there?
Oh, it was fun. Love seeing the kids. Great turnout. You mentioned it. Felt good down there. Wasn't too hot. I remember last time I ran up here after Fan Day, and I was just dripping sweat. So it felt good down there. And, yeah, I mean, just a lot of fun times being had. The players they don't just sign the autographs, they're interacting with the kids and they're having so much fun. And so it's always great to be down there. And I know they appreciate the fans so much. So anything they can do to give back a little bit before they know that they'll need their support for the next 3 or 4 months.
We heard from Oliver Martin in hour one. You're working on a little thing where you got some kids and players involved, right?
Oh, yes. This is Emmy Award winning, by the way.
Good.
Yeah, I handed off the mic and let one of the little kids interview the players. Got some good stuff, so stick around for that.
Very good. We'll have that coming up here in just a little bit. The time is ticking, though. Just a little over 20 minutes left for Fan Day. So the 90-minute session's going to come to an end sooner than later. We had Nate Rohr on last night, who's booming his voice throughout the stadium tonight. He'll be crushing dreams in a few minutes, telling people they have 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes
left. Well, there's
left.
a big clock on the big screen.
Counting it down.
Yes.
Counting it down.
Yep.
Tough stuff. All right, the commissioner, Kevin Warren, met with the media today. He really started. He launched Media Days. He was up at the podium before any of the coaches were able to get up there. And obviously, the recent additions of the 2 Los Angeles schools, a huge topic and a huge, really, bone for the commissioner to add a feather to his cap. So here he is talking about the value of adding those 2 schools to the Big Ten here in 2 years.
I mean, I grew up in Arizona. I grew up when the Pac-12 was the Pac-8, the Pac-10, and now the Pac-12. My father was a football student athlete at Arizona State. My brother was at Stanford. I grew up on the West Coast. And but the decision-making process, even before I accepted the job, even in my materials that I prepared to accept the job, expansion was in there. And I think we had to be forward-thinking as far as what we needed to do, back to the answer that I just answered. And what do I think it brings more to the table even than athletics? Athletics, quite naturally, is a big component of it, but academics is incredibly important. You look at some of the alumni from USC, the Steven Spielbergs, the UCLA, Jackie Robinson, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Stan Smith from USC. You think of all the different positive, powerful alumni who have a diverse background. So academically, athletically, the graduation rates of each one of those schools is over 92%. One of the things that caught my eye when I was interviewing for this job back in 2019, I studied every one of the universities across the country. And one of the things that jumped out about USC and UCLA and even the market of Los Angeles is that they're the largest section of Big Ten alumni other than in the Midwest is in Los Angeles. And there's so many opportunities that exist across the country. And so I've spent a lot of time, even before I came to the Big Ten, once I accepted the job in the Big Ten, and even these last couple years, always analyzing each and every school and what it means just for college athletics, what it means to the Big Ten Conference, and to make sure that anytime we have an opportunity to add incredible value, that we are prepared. So a lot of the work that we've done on any expansion, potential expansion we've done it multiple years ago, and that we're always in a perpetual state of analyzing the goodness of fit for any institutions that would come into the Big Ten Conference.
That echoes a little bit about what we talked about on the show for Nebraska. We have a big alumni base in Los Angeles. He expounded on that, saying a lot of the Big Ten schools do. This just made so much sense in so many ways, and they do bring an awful lot of value.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the TV market, all of that. But, I mean, and I've told you, I've said this, and hopefully USC, UCLA start getting a little bit more following. Maybe USC will improve, and so that will improve their attendance. But, I mean, I guarantee you there will be some games that the opposing teams from the Big Ten will have close to the amount of fans that those two teams have. And it's just a tough market to have fans in there. they have people that tune in and watch. Obviously, they provide a lot of value there. But, it's not going to be one of those, at this moment, unless things improve or change drastically, a daunting road task that won't be winnable. And it will provide an opportunity for fans to go and see, and those California fan bases to easily get to see this team play.
People will tell you, though, when USC football is rolling, they're the biggest thing in town. They even surpassed the Lakers and stuff, and they'll be bigger than the Rams or the Chargers. But they're not rolling right now. Maybe Lincoln Riley gets them rolling in the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, maybe in a couple years we'll see. But right now, and that was one thing they said, we've got to get attendance up. I've heard so many people say how bad attendance has been. It's sad, and it's a terrible atmosphere right now. So, and you want to play in that as a player, like even going on the road. Like a lot of the players that I talk to, they love playing at home, but a lot of them are fueled and love that road atmosphere. And so you would hope that provides some energy. It's hard to play in those dead stadiums.
It is.
But, if Nebraska fans travel well, and then you got a great following there in California, it's going to be great for Husker fans and the team. It'll be almost like a neutral field, I guess.
And their fans will be energized too. If here comes Michigan, here comes Wisconsin, here comes Nebraska, their fans are going to go, okay, now I'm in.
And not Colorado and Arizona State.
Utah.
And
I'm not trying to belittle those schools, but
they haven't had good football teams recently.
That's right. It's a different thing when you start bringing these Big Ten schools. And you're right, all the Big Ten teams will have their own following. Okay, we told you folks back in May, we thought the Big Ten was really close to signing a new TV deal. It's up after this year. This coming year is the end of their current TV deal. Well, then it kind of got quiet. And we're like, why are we not hearing about it? Well, it became obvious that we weren't hearing about it because the commissioner was working on USC and UCLA added to the mix. So that certainly adds to the new TV deal. Here he talks about the media rights, where that is at right now, and what impact those two schools are having on bumping up the cost of Big Ten, televising Big Ten sports.
Yeah, so the target that we're looking for, we're still working through that. I don't want to guess what that would be. I know we'll reach that decision here pretty quickly. But as I said, even regardless of the size of the deal, the thing I'm most excited about during these negotiations have been the creativity of what we're going to be able to deliver to our fans and to our student athletes and to our families. So, when you think an opportunity to be able to deliver content, and Ben, I always talk about my focus every day is to make sure we deliver content to our fans from age 5 to 105, because people consume content differently. We have nearly 7 million alumni around the world. And so I'm very conscientious from these media partners' standpoint, not to focus on the money, although that we'll be blessed financially, but of how we can deliver content in a way that has never been delivered in college athletics ever before, which is critically, important from that standpoint. And yes, USC and UCLA will come in as full members. We think that's important for various reasons. They bring a lot of value to our relationship. They bring a lot of panache to our relationship. And we look forward to welcoming them into the Big Ten family here in 2024. There's a lot of work to be done between now and then.
That was a little bit of news because when Nebraska came into the Big Ten, they were not fully vested financially for the first 5 years. Same thing with Rutgers and Maryland. They had to wait some time before they got the full share. That's different for the California schools, and hey, that's rightfully so. They're bringing the LA market into the fold, so that does make sense. The commissioner was asked about future expansion, all the things that conferences and athletic departments are dealing with right now, NIL, expansion, all these type of things, realignment, all these type of things. He said the Big Ten will be proactive, not sit back and wait for it to happen.
I'm a big believer, and I've been this way from my first memory as a child. I was the one that always asked why. Not only why, but then why not? And so coming into college athletics, there were some opportunities that just seemed readily apparent that existed that we could build to make the game of college football and all of our college athletic competitions even stronger. So where expansion goes, I don't know. Where our conference realignment, I mean, look what's happened over this last year. It's morphed and grown in a different direction. I do know this. It is important for all of us in business to recognize that we're in a time of change. And I think there's two types of people in the world, that they look at change as it's a problem, or they look at change as an opportunity. And I'm one of those individuals that when change occurs, I get excited about it, that it really is an opportunity for us to do a lot of things that people have thought about, but maybe have been a little bit reticent to do. And so I'm embracing change. I'm going to be very aggressive. I've been that way my entire career. And I just want to make sure we build an environment, because our student athletes and our fans and our universities deserve that. And so I just want to make sure that we're aggressive of how we build this. We got to do it the right way, for the right reasons at the right time. But I think we're going to look back over this period, and we're in a stage of probably about a 5-year period of change. I'm oftentimes reminded when I drive, and when I was a student at the University of Notre Dame Law School, when I would go to Chicago and go back to South 10, there's a Sears and Roebuck building on the highway that you see when you go from South Bend to Chicago. And I've pointed that out to my kids. I've pointed it out to many people who've been in the car with me before. As a young person, born in the 60s, I remember those days that it was a happy day when my parents would bring us a Sears and Roebuck catalog to have us pick our birthday gifts out of. And we would be excited to order those. Those catalogs aren't in existence anymore. Sears and Roebuck is not in existence anymore. And so I think it's important for us to put very creative, aggressive, bold minds in a room together. And fortunately, I have colleagues here in the Big Ten Conference to think about these ideas. I don't want to be Sears and Roebuck. And I want to make sure that we not only make the right decisions, that what's right now for our student athletes and for our games, and our competitions and our academic opportunities and our fans, but I want to make decisions that when we look back 30 years from now, that people will say that the Big Ten Conference was ahead of the curve in making these decisions. And so that's what I think about every day. That's what I think about from a partnership standpoint. That's why I'm grateful for BTN and Fox, and I'm grateful for these new media partners. I'm grateful for USC and UCLA. So it's important for us to make sure we take care of our 14 schools, bring in our 2 new family members, but to be really forward-thinking and think way over the horizon and think what our decisions will have an impact on this thing we call college athletics the next 30, 40, 50 years from now.
I think that's a really good answer. I think he couched it in a way of a company that kind of rested on its laurels and now is gone. He doesn't want the Big Ten to be that. He wants them to be on the forefront. I think that was, I think, what you and I were kind of talking about in hour one about.
Yes.
This guy was really confident today.
Yeah, that was the take. One of the takes I was thinking about, that it was just a completely different tone than what we heard a year ago of, him being confident and how he's standing up there and being the leader of this Big Ten and confident in the direction that the Big Ten is going.
Yeah, well done, and good to hear a conference that's trying to be out in front of things and not back behind them. Quick time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. All right, we'll leave you with this. This will be the last clip we'll have from the commissioner. He was asked about playoff expansion. All the commissioners are being asked about it. The current 4-team format, I think, has 2 years left on their TV deal. And now with all these big super conferences coming around, it's going to change. Here's the commissioner with his thoughts about expanding the playoff.
I'm 100% supportive of college football playoff expansion. I'm excited that we now will have some new members in the room who will have very creative ideas. Even in the Big Ten Conference, our new presidential representative will be Dr. Christina Johnson, the president at The Ohio State University, she was a student athlete herself at Stanford. She's a businesswoman, has over 100 patents from a business standpoint, incredible leader. So to be able to get her ideas as far as what format is best, I'm looking forward to working with her. And then we have a new commissioner, Brett Yormark, in the Big 12 Conference, who's replacing Bob Bowlesby. And, Brett is a marketing wizard, very innovative. And so I'm excited. We have meetings coming up in September and October to be able to talk about these issues. I'm 100% supportive for college football playoff expansion. What is that right number? We'll figure it out. I'm confident we will get college football playoff expansion resolved. I still feel strongly that we need to open it up to have multiple media partners that we need to have from the college football playoff standpoint. We need to take a holistic view. We need to make sure we protect some of the critical bowl relationships. And so as we work through all these, whether it's automatic qualifier, whatever the case may be, I'm confident as we get these new individuals in the room, get these issues on the table, that we'll be able to reach some resolution. And again, make sure we ask ourselves the right questions for the right reasons at the right time for our student athletes and our fans. But I look forward to the day that we can expand the college football playoff, and I'm confident that it will happen.
I was glad he said that, because I have been asking that question, like, when is somebody going to step up and start trying to see where this college football is going? Because we keep hearing it's going to change, what it's going to look like. Well, who's going to step up to the plate and try to help navigate and be the leader of this? So the fact that he's saying we're going to get in the room, I love what he said about the Big 12 commissioner. I thought that they needed an upgrade. Nothing against Bob Bowlesby, did a good job, but they needed to get new and innovative, especially with losing Texas and Oklahoma. But I also, how about him saying we need to not limit it to one TV partner? Is he making a case for Fox right there?
Probably so.
Yep.
Probably so. And why not? If you're, now the biggest fight, I think, is going to be how big do you make it? Do you double it from 4 to 8? 8. Do you go to 12? I do not. They're floating 16 out there today. I do not want it to go to 16.
Look, why go to 16 first? Go to 8 first, because you can't go from 16 back down to 8. Go to 8. If there's a need to move it forward where you can, because it's going to be a drastic change if you go to 16 teams
Agreed.
in the playoff. Like, it's going to change a lot of how the regular season looks. So instead of going automatically straight to 16, where you're going to have to make drastic changes to a football season, go to 8, because then and then maybe you include the conference championship games as part of that play-in, as part of that, the playoff to get into to play for a national title. So you have every conference team champion represented in the playoff.
And then does the Pac-12, which will soon be Pac-10, do they hold on to an automatic qualifier? Those are all going to be fun debates to follow. And again, we have some time. They still have another year to go on that deal to get that all figured out. All right, Cole, let's give the folks one more shot of Fan Day, because they're wrapping it up here in about 4.5 minutes. They're starting to thin out a little bit, so it's about over. But what a beautiful night, comfortable night out there for everybody to come and get some autographs from their favorite Huskers. So, it ends in about, 4 minutes and 20 seconds. It will be over. Our Sports Nightly hotline open and available for you. 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. It's brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. All right, back with more, including some more sights and sounds from Fan Day coming up next.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Trafix Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
There's nothing better than the smoky aroma of grilled beef at the ballpark. This is Anne Marie with the Nebraska Beef Council reminding you to pick up a package of steaks or burgers for your next tailgate party. Whether you're setting up in the parking lot or cheering from home, nutritious beef is a home run choice when cheering on the Huskers. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for delicious beef recipes, grilling tips, and tailgate inspirations. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. And sadly, Fan Day has come to an end, so they're telling folks to hit the exits. The players are walking back under. I think they have I think they may have some meetings tonight. And then tomorrow it's practice time, and they are going in the morning, so they're back here in about 12 hours for the first practice of the 2022 season. Remarkable that is the case. John in Omaha on our text line, as unconfident and unimpressed as I was with Commissioner Warren during the COVID challenge, it's a little bit balanced out with the way he has taken the reins on expansion and innovation. I don't feel like we're the old Big Ten anymore. The name only goes so far. The product has to be there, and I like what I'm seeing. Go Big Red. So I totally agree. Totally agree. All right, 402-413-2400, the number if you want to fire off a text or dial us up with a phone call. Let's head to the phones. Tim in Minnesota is up next. Good evening, Tim. Tim, are you with us?
Now?
Yeah, got you.
Okay, there you go. I just got to make sure I have the phone close enough, or the microphone. Anyway, I was trying to say, you've been around me enough to maybe understand this, but I should still give a qualifier that, I've seen so much of, the greatness from the 80s, 90s, and, I'm excited anytime I see something, that resembles that, but I also realize that I can't always be old school as good as that is, just like Warren was said, you got to go past Sears and Roebuck, and so I know I have to kind of keep that in mind. But that said, what really excited me was when Frost was talking, and even one of the coaches was talking that you interviewed about going back to more of a defensive four-man front that, with those edge rushers, whether it's Doman or, maybe this new Sean Mathis. And last year, I saw some of it early on and felt Darius Payne. And that really excites me. I was a little cautious and uneasy when we went to 3-4. I'm sure that there was maybe some merit to that, but it kind of to me, it kind of symbolized almost going away from what made us great. So that's, kind of where I'm coming from. But I'm, again, cautiously optimistic. People who know me probably get tired of hearing me say that, but I think it's an appropriate thought process there. So also, I was also impressed with Warren a little bit more than a couple of years ago. Plenty more that can be shared, but I'm going to leave it at that for tonight.
Very good, Tim. Appreciate the phone call. Yeah, the commissioner did well today. He handled himself really well. And I think, folks, if you go back and you watch those games last year, you will see Nebraska in more four-man fronts than you realize. And it might even been a shade over 50-50, but I think you'll see the same thing this year. You'll see some three-man front. You really want to give the offense some different looks. You want to make that quarterback come up and identify what kind of front are we in? Are we in a three-front or a four-front? So I don't think it's a bad thing if you do a little bit of both of those things. So appreciate the phone call, Tim. Hope you're doing well up there in Minnesota. All right, Fan Day over, but before it did wrap up, you were able to catch up with some of the fans and players that were out there.
Yeah, so did some interviews. Be on the lookout for that with some of the kiddos. Awesome, hilarious as always. One of them, I asked if they if they could tell Coach Whipple to add a play to his playbook, what would it be? And he said the touchdown one. So there you go.
Yeah,
so like
like
that kind of great content, that you get. But I also handed the mic off to Cash. I met Cash last year at Fan Day. He was a star. Saw him at a few games. So I handed, and we're using the tiny mic. That's a deal now on social media. It's like trending now. So we had the tiny mic. So I gave him the tiny mic, and this is Cash interviewing Travis Vokalek, Omar Manning, and Miles Farmer right now.
Why do the tight ends have funny haircuts?
It's been a tradition that we've done here. We've been trying to get the whole tight end room to have mullets. These guys won't do it, but majority of us do. I think you'd look pretty good with a mullet. Same with you. You gotta get a mullet. You gotta get a mullet. Nah, you'd look good.
No, we don't want no mullets.
You don't want a mullet?
No.
You don't want to look cool?
Well, we do want to look cool, but I don't think we want mullets. How's the offense looking?
We're looking really good. There's a lot of opportunities for us to go out and make plays this year, specifically the tight ends. So Coach Whip's offense coming in, he's going to put us in a lot of positions to go out and make plays, and, it's our job to go out there and catch balls and make blocks and try and help this team win football games.
Who's the best defensive back?
On the team?
Yes.
The best one? I don't know. We got a lot of good ones. The best defensive back? Probably Quentin Nelson. He give me a lot of competition, but they all good though. Yeah, the one who talks the most smack is Tommy Hill. He talks the most trash.
That's probably my answer too.
Okay, good. Oh, did you guys know I coached against his flag team? That's a stud right there. He had like 10 touchdowns.
Is he a good coach?
Yeah.
I'm not a good defensive coach. He had like 10 touchdowns.
Are you gonna match my touchdown count?
Most definitely. He had 10 in the game, so I don't know. But on the season, yeah, I got you.
Who's the best wide receiver?
The best wide receiver?
Yeah.
All of them.
How's the team going?
Team's going great. Fantastic.
How many interceptions?
How many interceptions you want?
About 5.
5?
No.
From all the DBs?
25.
25?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to see if we can get 25. I'm going to do that for you. All right, my guy. Can I ask you some questions?
Yeah.
Let me see the mic. What's your name?
Cash.
Like Cash Money?
Yeah.
You like money?
Yeah.
You sure?
I mean, if we don't spend all of it, yeah.
That's my dude. That's my dude. That's a great answer.
Oh, Cash. He's great. Yeah, he was so good. I was like, hey, here, you take the mic and go ask players questions.
We need Cash on staff.
Yes, we do.
Come on.
Yes, we do.
Bring him in.
He
well
needs
done.
to, help us out with some post-practice interviews.
Fantastic. Really well done. There just was a really fun vibe. I stuck my head out there for a few minutes. It just was a fun feel about tonight. And probably because it wasn't 100 degrees on the turf. It was pretty comfortable.
Absolutely. And I think this group is fun. There's a lot of fun personalities and, goofy personalities and not take things so serious personalities. I mean, I interviewed Luke Reimer's niece, who I even asked her, I was like, who would you give a black shirt to? And she kind of hesitated, and I said, how about, and her mom said, how about Nick? And she said, no. And then, how about Garrett? She said, no. Like, very adamantly no. So I told the guys, and they were laughing about it. You know, it's just it's a fun team. Like, even so, those like even like Nick and Luke are two guys that sometimes can be pretty serious, but they seem to be having a lot of fun. I just think this team enjoys each other. I guess at the bottom line, and we'll see again how that unfolds as we get into the season. But the times I've been around, the times I've interacted, they just seem to really like each other and have fun with each other.
Long day for Travis Vokalek.
Right?
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Jim Briggs at our chat just said, wow, somebody should hire this kid to be a sideline reporter.
kidding.
Absolutely.
Really
We've
good.
got to bring him on staff.
Really, really good. Time to tell you to buckle up. Put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. 402-413-2400, the number to call or text. We're back with more of the show next.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
You can be in Memorial Stadium for the Oklahoma football game with the new limited availability OU Plus 2 ticket plan. For $270, you have a ticket to the Huskers versus Oklahoma game, 2 tickets to North Dakota, and 2 tickets to Georgia Southern. Also available is a Big Ten plan with a ticket to Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. 4 Big Ten games in Memorial Stadium for only $200. Purchase right now at huskers.com/tickets.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
The Nebraska FFA is growing leaders
and building communities.
Together, we are strengthening agriculture.
The Nebraska FFA Foundation believes in our future leaders and the communities they serve. We believe in the future of agriculture.
Join us in the I Believe in the Future of Ag campaign. Learn more at neFFAfoundation.org. Brought to you by Chief Industries, trusted, tested, true. And Country Partners Cooperative. Together, we can.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. the official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Pat, I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Go ahead.
Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Pottery.
No.
Let us help. Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Lottery. Through August 2nd, enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska Lottery Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket for a chance to be one of 6 winners of a trip to LA, a cruise, or a trip to Vegas.
Are you sure it's not Nebraska Pottery?
Pretty sure.
Scratch ticket top prize odds, 128,000.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires our product development. From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Huskers announced a couple more ticket plans today. OU plus 2 mini plan. You get 1 Oklahoma game ticket, 2 tickets to the North Dakota game, 2 tickets to the Georgia Southern game for $270, or just a Big Ten mini plan. You get the 4 Big Ten home games, Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, for $200. If those interest you, we've been talking about the 3-game mini pack, but here are a couple more options for you. You go to Huskers.com/tickets. Both of those, I think, are going to be really, really popular with the fans. So an OU
and you better get on
2.
those because we've heard that they're selling quickly.
Very quickly.
So if you want to get on that OU package, you better get on it right now.
Yep. So there's not much left, and that came out about 11 today. So you might want to do Huskers.com/tickets. Practice tomorrow inside of 12 hours. Got to be some nerves of some of the guys, wouldn't you think? Probably some guys that are nervous about what kind of impression they're going to make. And
yeah, absolutely. I think maybe a little anxious, a little apprehensive. It's always like kind of the first day of school. Some guys probably won't sleep much, but yeah, I think they're just ready to get it going again. You know, I think they're excited about what they've been able to do in spring and in summer and some of the new additions, and they feel good about where this is. I just, you know, taking away the interviews that I've done, and then hearing Coach Frost talk about this leadership, and I know we've heard about leadership in the past, but him saying that Garrett Nelson is arguably one of the best leaders he's had since he's been here, and I think there's no doubt about it, just the way that Garrett has carried himself and has really stepped up. Travis Vokalek, another one of those guys, and I talked to Travis. I didn't include that on the interview last night, but he talked about that Unity Council and how big it's been this summer. So that's come up several times. And so I think the way they bought in together and they're being player-led, that's the best teams are player-led. And so if that's how it's going, I feel good about where they're at going into fall camp.
Garrett had an interesting analogy today when he was on BTN about all the close losses last year. Did you catch him talking about that?
The talking to a girl.
Yeah.
And did you see Travis's reaction? It was hilarious.
So the question was, last year it had to be so frustrating with all the close calls that didn't go Nebraska's way. And Garrett said, yeah, it's like going out to the bar and you're talking to a girl all night long and then she leaves with her boyfriend. And you're just like, wait a minute, I thought I was going to. So he threw that. And then Travis, did Travis roll his eyes?
He started laughing. And then, just their reactions. Oh, that's Garrett. That's why he is a favorite. And that's why guys love him in the locker room. He is just such a character. And, I loved Quentin's suit.
Looked good, didn't he?
Yes.
Looked really good.
Yeah, his red jacket.
It's a bit of a fashion show, you go to those things.
Yeah.
All the players from all the teams try to kind of outdo each other.
But not every conference does that. At
they
the
don't.
Big Ten, they all look sharp today. But, I know at a lot of other places they just wear the team polos. But the Big Ten, they dress to the nines.
I think everybody had suits on.
Yes.
All 7
well,
teams
and the
today.
Big Ten conference on their social media were going and saying, hey, tell us about the fit. And so they were doing full fit checks and telling us about, and the guys like to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, everybody looked really nice today.
They did. So it was a fun day. 7 teams went today. The other 7 tomorrow. You got Ohio State. You have Wisconsin tomorrow. PJ Fleck was today. I know a lot of you are big PJ Fleck fans. He went today. So if you didn't catch him today, you missed him. So
It was funny. I was
there,
watching him with my mom, and my mom was like, wow, he's intense.
Yeah, there's a lot there. All right, 402-413-2400. Need to slip our last break in. We're back to wrap up tonight's show next.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. Just move on up. Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
Pat, I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Go ahead.
Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Pottery.
No.
Let us help. Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Lottery. Through August 2nd, enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska Lottery Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket for a chance to be one of 6 winners of a trip to LA, a cruise, or a trip to Vegas.
Are you sure it's not Nebraska Pottery?
Pretty sure.
Scratch ticket top prize odds 1 in 128,000.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Busy day, and the Huskers in Indianapolis earlier today to make their appearance at Big Ten Media Days. Then you had Fan Day tonight. A lot of days, but it's also an exciting time because you know it's getting closer. You know the season's getting closer, and the first practice session will be tomorrow for the guys. So they'll be back here. They'll be back on the field in about 12 hours is when they'll be out on the field because they are going with those morning practices to get ready for this team. I thought the Huskers in Indianapolis, including the head coach, I know that he was, when Scott was at the podium, which came right after he just did a 40-minute roundtable with most of at least the Nebraska media, felt like his answers were a little short, but he probably already answered those questions a lot when he got to the podium. The podium, usually for these coaches, is their first questions of the media days. For Scott today, it was kind of his last. It was kind of right at the end for him.
Yeah, at least they worked with him, you know, getting them in and out. And I know they had a tight schedule, but all those guys were there. They had great, you know, and Quentin Newsom, Miles Farmer have such a cool relationship. They're fun, and you know that's part of what I was talking about earlier about the fun personalities. Those two guys have that. So you know that's a long day, and then you heard Travis Vogel like answering questions from Cash. It's a long day for those guys, but they still came and had a great attitude. I think those are three great representatives of this program.
Three captains.
And I was just about to be there. I think those are probably going to be three captains that we'll hear their names called pretty soon. We
had that text after you left to go out to Fan Day in the hour one. Somebody goes, "You got to be the three. Those have to be." And I probably, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say absolutely, definitely, but it's, you feel like that's where we're going. Yeah. Usually you have more than three, so there's probably another one or two they may add to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure at this point it's got to be Travis and Garrett. I'm not sure about Quentin. You heard him talking today, which I thought he had a great answer about how he's been more of a quieter guy, a lead by example guy, and he's had to step into a role and maybe not as comfortable for him then, but he stepped into it and he's enjoying it now. And someone asked him, was that you or was that the coaches? And he said a little bit of both. The coaches can challenge you, but you have to want to do it. And so he's just now kind of finding that want to be that leader. So, you know, depending on how many they vote for, we'll see, but he's got to be in the mix for that. But I think Garrett Nelson absolutely is a for sure, and I think Travis Vokalek is absolutely a for sure.
I'm going to give you two guys on offense that have a shot of being captains, Turner Corcoran, Ramir Johnson, and on defense, Luke Reimer. He's your leading tackler. He's got to get a little bit of consideration, I would think.
Yeah, Luke or Nick. You know, I think I think either one of those guys could be.
Yeah, and Nick took kind of a lead on the road race. He was kind of one of the spokespeople for the road race.
And Nick's a little bit more vocal than Luke.
True.
You know, a little bit more outspoken when he does interviews and all of that. So, but both those guys, whether you have the C or not, those two guys are leaders of the defense.
Yes.
Because of the position they play, but also their experience. They're going to have to set the tone there in the middle of that defense.
Yep. All right, tomorrow night we'll wrap up our position breakdowns. Tight ends coach Sean Beckton will be here. We'll talk about his group. We'll also recap day 2 of the Big Ten Media Days, and we'll introduce you to a couple of new additions to the Husker football recruiting staff. Looking forward to that tomorrow night here on the program. Thanks to Tim and Nicole and to Jessica and to all of you for being a part of the program tonight. If you're leaving the stadium right now from Fan Day, be careful going home. There are some dark clouds. We got some storms going to hit Lincoln here in the next half hour, so be careful, be safe, and go Big Red.
us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sap Brothers. For 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Discover the pinnacle of American automotive design with the all-new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer. Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Blair is your Wagoneer certified dealer, delivering an experience to match the premium quality of your vehicle, making your choice easy. The all-new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer are equipped with state-of-the-art technology, a luxurious, expansive cabin, and confident capability you would expect from this legendary SUV. Visit us in-store or online at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.